Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Smoking Apples screencasts. It's me again, Milan Alvarez, editor of the independent blog that brings you loads of information related to pretty much anything Apple. Today we're going to leave aside third-party apps and focus on built-in functionality. Safari 4 for Mac is an amazing browser, not just to surf the web, but also to aid in web development. Hidden from view lies a spectacular web inspector that will help you customize HTML and CSS with ease. Now, why would you want to edit CSS? So many of us have blogs these days. The WordPress community and other CMS packages, of course, come with millions of themes that are almost tailored to your kind of blog. But there's always some little thing that you would want to change, and going through all that code can sometimes be really daunting. CSS with the web inspector is easy. To understand CSS is like using a word processor. So, if you're interested in knowing how to change the look of your blog or any site, continue on with what I hope to be a helpful tutorial. Let's go over to smokingapples.com. That's something you're familiar with. I hope so, at least. Let's say I want to reduce the post title size and change the color of this little sidebar element. In the old school way, I would have had to look at the HTML file, the PHP file, the CSS file, and link them all together just to see how things are played out. It's not that difficult for a professional who has actually coded the site himself, but for a newbie, the process can be quite a pain. With Safari 4, you just right-click any page element, in this case the sidebar title, and select Inspect Element. This brings up the Safari 4 web inspector. It's a relatively clean UI considering the amount of information it displays. The entire document structure can be expanded or contracted using these flippy triangles. Our sidebar title, of course, is pre-selected. Moving on to the sidebar, you will find the styles associated with that particular element. Think of these as bold or italics with your word processor. The user agent style sheet is what the browser tells the element to look like. For instance, a hyperlink will look blue and have an underline. These, of course, are overridden by any styles that we have added to our site. In this case, the color of the text is in H5 search form label style and is set to this particular value. Now, to make it black, for instance, we'll change the RGB value to 000 and then click away. The change is reflected immediately and you can see that it's now black. So it's very easy to dynamically change elements and see them reflect immediately on your document. Next, we want to reduce our post title size. So you click the little search icon and select the post title. Looking into the sidebar, we can't find anything related to the font size. So in times like these, you move up a notch. CSS works in mysterious ways. To understand it fully, you will have to read up on that. Here we're going to use some quick and dirty trial and error methods to find out what's going on. We see that the font size is mentioned in the H3 tag. It's 2.8 em. It could be in pixels, but here it's in em. Double click, reduce it to 2.2 and click away. Instantly changed. Let's play around here a little bit. Say I want to increase the border at the bottom as well. I'll make that 8 pix. Pix is as in pixels. I want to see what it looks like without the padding. I can just uncheck that and boom. I could hide this image, change this title to better suit perhaps if I want to take a screenshot of something and I want to change some text on a page. Instead of grabbing that screenshot and moving it to Photoshop, I could just change the text right there and then grab my screenshot. There's so many things you can do with just this one window. Note that what we have done right now is just temporary. The moment I refresh my page, it will all go back to normal. So we actually need to edit the actual CSS file on the server. So I'm going to show you how to find out what exactly you need to change in that CSS file. So we go back to our post title, see which style the H3 tag is associated with, and click the style.css link. And it will open up in the resources tab. The style element we are searching for is H3. You enter that in the search field and hit return. Found it on the first try, and there's the 2.8 em we saw earlier. You will need to open this file in your FTP client, or in case of WordPress you can actually go to the appearance edit tab and locate your CSS file there. Change that 2.8 EM to 2.2 and update your file on the server, and it will be permanently saved. I hope this taught you something about how to edit your web pages using just Safari's web inspector, and I hope you will explore the web inspector to exploit it to the fullest. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not just useful for amateurs, it's very useful for professionals as well. As always, remember to back up your files and have the contact info for professional ready and waiting in case you mess up something. And please let us know how you like the screencast. Give us feedback on how we could improve, or suggest some other topics you might want us to cover. I'm Milind Alvarez for Smoking Apples. Thanks for watching.